Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another daily Videodevo. Rene here, and I'm just walking toward the beach, having just parked my car, and it reminded me of something that happened to me and your executive pastor, Mark Spurlock, one day when we went down to Capitola from the church for lunch. We got back to my car. At the time, I was driving a beat-up old Hyundai that had a few problems. I got in on the driver's side, and Mark went to get in on the passenger's side, and the door wouldn't open. It wouldn't budge. He yanked on it again and again and again and just wouldn't open. And so Mark yells at me. Remember, I'm seated inside the car now on the driver's side. Mark yells at me through the open passenger's side window. He says, "Rene, the door won't budge." So he says, "Give it a shove." And so I figured, yeah, the door's stuck. So I gave it a shove. It wouldn't budge. So Mark says, "Lay down and shove it with your feet. Kick it. Try kicking it open." And I kicked it, and I kicked it, and I kicked it again. It still would not budge. Now Mark's almost in a frenzy, yelling at me, "Kick it harder, kick it harder." And I'm laying on my back, I'm kicking. Mark's yelling, "Push, push." Passersby must have thought there was a woman in the car giving birth. The door won't open. Finally, Mark yells, "Wait a minute." And he reaches in through the open window and unlocks the door. Boop. And it opens. The whole time we'd been trying to kick the door open, the problem was it had just been locked. Now, I hesitated to tell you this story because I was worried that you might think, okay, who do we have running this church? Well, you have Valerie Webb running this church. But I did end up taking the risk of telling you the story because Mark and I were doing something that we human beings often fall into, and that is trying the same stupid, ineffective solution again and again and again and again, even though it doesn't work. And somehow it doesn't occur to us, maybe my solution isn't working because I'm not correctly diagnosing the problem. And as we spoke about this last weekend in church, you and I do that all the time, don't we? When it comes to overcoming our sins, our habits, our wounds, our addictions, our compulsions, our life-controlling deals, we try the same human-based solution over and over and over again. I'll just try harder next time. I'll just try harder next time. This time I'll try really hard. You know, it's the 12-step definition of insanity. Trying something again and again and again that's the same thing and expecting different results. That's insane. Instead, try something else. Try something that's going to work. Try turning over to Christ and doing things His way. Now, in the case of a life-controlling addiction or compulsion or habit, that may mean for you checking out our 12-step recovery groups on Monday nights, Thursday nights, our men's sex addiction group on Wednesday nights. Try something else for a change. You've got nothing to lose. You know, in John chapter 5, the healing of the lame man that we talked about this last weekend, he laid at that pool for 38 years trying the same thing over and over and over again, and it didn't work. So Jesus says, "Do you want to be made whole?" And the man's able to get up and walk. And Jesus is offering wholeness to you too. If what you've been trying hasn't worked, try something else.